All right, here we go. First question of week one. Let's just say that. Daniel says, who would guard DeAndre Hopkins and how will they guard him? This is Daniel T's burner account. Okay, listen, it'll be Sherman. And the question really is going to be, will they let Sherman go ahead and blanket him? Will they let him go ahead and follow DeAndre Hopkins wherever they go? Or will they trust Emmanuel Mosley and Ahkello Witherspoon to hold down the fort on the left side of the cornerback spot? If it was me, I would let Sherman run with it. But I also understand that Sherman is a little bit older and Hopkins is really, really good. And so maybe you need to give Sherman a little break here and there. But I think the obvious answer is to let him go ahead and shadow Hopkins and hope that he can hold things down. Because, listen, they got a lot of good wide receivers. Larry Fitzgerald, Christian Kirk. It's going to be a great test for the 49ers secondary. But I think they're up for it. No worries. I think that they are. Neil says here, let's see this. What's the chance Jimmy Garoppolo will play the brace on Sunday? I think it's 100%, right? Now, we had talked about at the very beginning of training camp, there was no brace for Jimmy Garoppolo. That made national news. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, no brace, exciting. I reported it here on the channel. And then a week later, he was wearing the brace, and he's worn the brace for the remainder of training camp. So it'll probably be on there, right? And again, that's not an issue. There are a lot of star quarterbacks who tear their ACL and wear a brace. Carson Wentz wore a brace all of last year. Does it really inhibit mobility? I don't think so. I'm not worried about it. Honestly, I'd rather him be in a brace than not. That way you protect that darn knee, because if he goes down, don't ruin our season, Jimmy. Come on, don't ruin it. Justin says, how many sacks INTs the Niners defense have in week one? I think a lot, because I think a lot of teams are going to be sloppy. I think Jimmy Garoppolo will throw 1 or 2 picks. Week one, no preseason. I mean, you've got to learn as you go, as they say, especially for these younger players. So I think both teams are going to turn the football over. I'll say 2 interceptions of Kyler Murray. I think they get him to the ground three-ish times. Kyler's he's a slippery little fellow, right? He's hard to get down, but nothing that Nick Bosa and the guys can't go ahead and figure out. Brandon says stat prediction for Jimmy G versus Cardinals. I just said he's going to throw a pick or 2. So I'm going to go ahead and go with, they're going to run the football a lot because you probably have Deebo and Brandon Aiyuk out. I'm going to say he's going to throw the ball, let's say 20 of 30 for 235 yards, 2 touchdowns and 1 pick. How about that? Write it down. You write it down, 20 for 30, 225 yards. Is that what I said? I think 2 touchdowns and 1 pick. I mean, it's just hard to ask these guys with no preseason just to go out there and play. I mean, obviously they've been practicing and scrimmaging and they're ready to go. They're professionals, but it's going to be sloppy. I expect over 9 penalties. Let's say that. A lot of false starts from both sides. Hey, speaking of the score prediction and the predictions for this weekend, give me your official score prediction. I said it'll be low scoring. I said like 20, 21, 13, 20 to 13, whatever it is. Give me your score prediction in the comment section down below. I'm going to be looking to see who gets this one right. Every now and then, someone nails it right on the head. Give me which team wins, score prediction in the comment section down below. And if you feel pretty confident about that score prediction, why don't you put some money on it, right? It's betting season, baby. It's time to go ahead and put those deposits down with our new sponsor, BetUS. Listen, they've got you guys covered in terms of their deposit bonus as well. So here's what you do, right? I'm going to hook you guys up. Exclusive here for 49er fans. Chatsports.com/bet. You see the little link or the little link down below in the description box. Just put that up there in your little Google search, right? Then go ahead and use the promo code Niners125 when you put your deposit in, and you get a 125% deposit bonus. Got to put $100 down. You put $100 down, perfect for the rest of the season. That turns into $225. Put it all in the Niners, baby. Come on. Right? How confident are you in the 49ers? If you are, put some money down on it. BetUS, chatsports.com/bet. Again, keep using the hashtag 49ers. Let's get these questions rolling through here. JMG says, what are your thoughts on the Niners benching Kinlaw for starting Solomon Thomas? Well, I mean, I'm glad you asked. We talked about that about 5 minutes ago. It's bad for Kinlaw and good for Thomas, right? It's pretty simple. I'm not shocked that Kinlaw was benched because, again, we've been hearing he was struggling in training camp. We kept hearing that he's losing his battles. He's losing his battles. The more surprise is not that Kinlaw was struggling, is that Thomas played pretty well. I think that's great news that Solomon Thomas is finally playing at a starter level of ability, I should say. Because, listen, Kinlaw was drafted 14 overall. The majority of D tackles who are taken in the first round start immediately. The fact that he got beat out by Solomon Thomas says a little bit about him, but a lot about Solomon Thomas, and that's good news. I'm excited. I think Solomon Thomas is going to play well. Is Bourne the only viable week one wide receiver? He's not the only viable one, but he's the one with the most experience, right? Because odds are no Deebo. Odds are no Brandon Aiyuk. Now, there's no guarantee that they're out. They haven't been officially ruled out, but it's not looking good, right? Even though we heard a couple of days ago that it was looking good. But on Wednesday, as we said, Brandon Aiyuk and Deebo Samuel did not practice yesterday. And I don't think they practiced today either, which is just not good news because you should be out there doing walkthroughs, have the helmet on, and all sorts of stuff like that. So if they're out, you're looking at Bourne, Taylor, Pettis, and one more who I'm blanking, Richie James Jr., right? So it's going to be interesting. I mean, Jimmy G's got to go to work, baby, right? I mean, run the football, find your tight ends, throw the ball across the field. We'll see what happens. Best fantasy football player on the Niners. So the easy answer is obviously going to be either the defense or George Kittle, which I actually drafted the defense in my fantasy league. But the dark horse is Raheem Mostert. And Raheem Mostert in my league, I got him in one of my leagues. He was like a 7th or 8th round guy in terms of a running back. Tremendous value. I know he's got people behind him who will take carries from him, but they really ran the rock with Raheem Mostert a lot. So best value is Raheem Mostert. Best overall is either Kittle or the Niner defense. Kittle went too early in my draft. I couldn't take him, but I got the Niner defense. You sure as heck bet I'm starting them on Sunday. How many yards does Mostert run for this season? Mostert run for this season. It's like toaster. Probably. I mean, I think 1,000. He was really good last year, especially as things started to get rolling. He got better and better and better. And if he can just play at the same level he played at last year, which he should be better, he's easily a 1,000-yard back. He was 1,000 yard from scrimmage, easily a 1,000-yard back. I'm pumped for Raheem Mostert, and that's why, again, he's the best fantasy value that you could possibly hope for at running back later on. Like, you could take Mostert or like Marlon Mack. I'd rather have Raheem Mostert in my draft, but fantasy. We'll move on. Hey, listen, we're going to be doing nonstop Niner coverage for the entire NFL season. I'm talking about news. I'm talking about rumors. I'm talking about live Q&As. I'm talking about game recaps, sometimes some live game recaps as well. We have a ton of stuff planned. I was just talking to the bosses today, and they're pumped for this season just like I am. So make sure you're subbed, right? Because we're going to be doing some work here. So make sure you guys are subscribed. I want to get to 30K before week 1. I don't know if we'll get there, but help us get to 30K. Hit the big red subscribe button down below. That way you guys are ready and notified whenever we drop the latest videos. And then you're a subscriber. Welcome to the club, right? Welcome to the community of 49er fans. In my opinion, the strongest here on YouTube. Again, go ahead and hit that big red subscribe button. Team Ice. How many yards for Kittle on the year? Over 1,000. I mean, what, he had 1,100 last year? It's got to be over 1,000. Now, Reed's going to take some catches away. A lot more than Ross Dwelly did last year, which is good, I think. You know, get a little rest from Kittle. Top 3 tight end in the NFL, easily. I mean, come on. It's just easily 1,000 yards, barring some sort of crazy injury, knock on wood. Hopefully it doesn't happen. JMG says, I think the Niners will sign Mohamed Sanu. No, because they would have done it by now. The only way they're going to go out and sign a wide receiver is if the Deebo and Brandon Aiyuk injuries are worse than they're telling us they are, which right now they're saying they aren't bad. They might miss 1 or 2 weeks, no worries. Or if they both come back, give the full wide receiver group and they all stink, then maybe you go sign somebody. But I'm telling you, if someone is not signed up to this point before the start of the season, it's kind of a tell-all that they're not that great of a player. The Patriots don't have a lot of great receivers. They still cut Mohamed Sanu. Just think about that, okay? Think about it right here, up here. Gabriel says, who will play more, Coleman or Jeff Wilson Jr.? Coleman will play a lot more. Listen, Jeff Wilson Jr. had 19 touches last year, 25 touches last year. It wasn't a lot. They gave him the football very little when there was some injuries ahead of him. But in reality, he's the 4th running back on this team, and you'd much rather give it to better skilled players at running back in terms of Coleman or Breida or even Jerick McKinnon, who I'm very, very excited on. Speaking about Jerick McKinnon, Problem says, any predictions on McKinnon's production is the next question you're going to see roll across your screen right now. I think he's going to be productive. Now, 1,000 yards rushing is a lot of rushing. All right, the odds that the 49ers have 2,000-yard backs, I just don't see it. Now, maybe 1,000 yards from scrimmage, right? 500 on the ground, 500 through the air. That could be possible. I think he's going to be good, though, and I've said that time and time again. And I say it a lot on my Twitter account, which is right over here. You should go ahead and follow me at Real Thomas Mott right now on Twitter. That way you guys can talk to me during the games, and I'll tweet you back. DM me at Real Thomas Mott. Let me know which 49er you guys are most excited to watch in 2020. If there was just one, right, and there's a lot of them, which 49er player are you most excited to watch in 2020? Mine was going to be Jalen Hurd, which is like RIP. I was really bummed. I'm excited for McKinnon a lot, and I'm also very excited for, who was the other one? I mean, I want to see what Aiyuk does. Deebo year 2. Man, it's tough to pick. Give me your ones down below. I'm going to go through the comments. I want to hear what it says, okay? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Let's keep going here. David says, I think Jimmy G will have an MVP season like Matt Ryan did this year or in the future. Can he have an MVP season? Yeah, he's totally capable. There are some quarterbacks like Mitch Trubisky and Ryan Tannehill who are incapable of an MVP year. Jimmy Garoppolo is capable. Will he, though? Listen, there are two good quarterbacks playing tonight on Thursday Night Football, the season opener, who probably have way better odds to win it. Can he do it? Yes. Will he do it? I don't know. Right? There are some who can, and there are some who can't. Garoppolo is one who can, but I'm not saying I wouldn't put money on him actually doing it. Okay. Matt Z says, is Kinlaw a bust? No, not a bust. He's just young. How old is Javon Kinlaw? Like 21? I'm 24. Can you imagine being 21 years old and expected to be a starter on defense for the best defense in the NFL? That's a lot of pressure, right? South Carolina is one thing. You're playing against third-string centers and fourth-string left guards who are never going to play a dime or a snap in the NFL. Come over here, 21, expect to start. Like, some people can do it, some people can't. He didn't suck in training camp, but he wasn't great. And so Thomas beat him out, and now he has to go to work week in and week out to prove he's worth 14. But no, way too early for a bust. I don't want to hear that. Josiah says, which 49er wide receiver do you think will play the best in week 1? And who do you think? And do you think Mostert will be a top 10 running back? Okay, best is probably going to be Bourne, but don't count out Trent Taylor. Remember, Trent Taylor's been telling us all offseason how good he is. So I'm hoping that he plays very, very well. I'd say Bourne, though, because he's probably the number one wide receiver if both Aiyuk and Deebo don't play. And yeah, Mostert can be a top 10 running back. I think so.